Communication with a narcissistic individual does not work. They're not interested in compromise, they're not interested in seeing your point of view, they're interested in getting their own way. Communicating with a narcissist is one of the most confusing, draining, and emotionally painful experiences that you could ever go through. Narcissists often struggle with empathy. They lack empathy to be able to understand you, and they struggle with that critical thinking. When it comes to having a conversation with a narcissist, these are often crazy making. When you try to discuss something with them, to find a compromise with them, they often switch the topic, talk over you, gaslight you, triangulate you, fall silent towards you. They don't want to see your point of view. They just want to focus on their own reality. And if you won't drop the conversation, you're going to be the problem. When you try to have that communication with them that they don't like, they will go all out to escalate the situation to stop you in your tracks. Narcissists do not believe that they should be challenged or they should have to communicate about things that they don't want to. They have that impulsive decision making. Many narcissists act on impulse rather than reflection. They can walk away from relationships or situations without any consideration of consequences. They just leave chaos in their wake and blame everybody else for it, because to a narcissist, nothing is ever their fault. They often lack cognitive reflection. Research shows that narcissists are less likely to reflect on their actions. Once they make a decision, they run with it. They stick to it, even if it's harmful, because they can't objectively evaluate their own behaviour. To them, they justify it that somebody else was at fault, somebody else caused it, they're not the issue. With narcissists, you have the grandiose and the vulnerable types. Grandiose narcissists can appear confident and superior, while vulnerable narcissists are often defensive and insecure. Both struggle with the lack of empathy, the lack of reflection, and the lack of critical thinking. Vulnerable types might briefly consider their actions, but it's still from a self-centered perspective. Grandiose narcissists often just think, I'm right, you're wrong, deal with it. They have difficulty seeing other people's perceptions due to their lack of empathy. Narcissists often cannot see your point of view. It's not that they're just not interested in it, they cannot see it. If you don't align with them, you are wrong. Conversations about compromise or fairness are impossible with a narcissist because they're stuck in their own mindset. They're stuck in getting their needs met. They're selfish, but they will accuse you of being the selfish one. They're looking to gain those emotional reactions from you to feed their ego. When challenged, narcissists often become defensive, angry, manipulative. Presenting facts often triggers tantrums from narcissistic individuals, the rage, the sulks. You don't get a rational discussion with them because their critical thinking is overridden by their ego and their impulsivity. They look to provoke emotions within you so that they can blame you, so they can accuse you of being the problem, you of being the crazy one. Look at the state of you. Because narcissists are not going to take responsibility for their own behaviour, they're going to pass the blame. When it comes to narcissistic individuals, the best way to communicate with them is don't. Leave them to it. They don't want to see unless it matches their reality. They're not bothered. And they're not bothered about how their behaviour negatively affects you. They lack the empathy to do so. The best approach when dealing with a narcissist is to protect your safety first. If at all possible, remain calm. Avoid those emotional reactions unless you need to give them just so you can get to safety. Set healthy boundaries. limit engagement wherever you possibly can. Go no contact with them if you can. If you can't, use the grey rock method. Protecting yourself more effectively is better than trying to reason with someone who is extremely unreasonable, yet will blame you for being the unreasonable one. So you're left thinking, wait, what on earth just happened in this conversation? Narcissists look to drive you crazy so they can believe that they're the sane one and you're the issue. You cannot have healthy communication with people who lack empathy. They're simply looking to get their needs met by you. They lack the empathy to care about you or even understand your point of view. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments with people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on this channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do have a select few one-to-one slots available also, where the link is in the description. If you're looking for further reading on understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several books available on Amazon. How to create boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries, such as narcissistic individuals, healing from narcissistic abuse, a guided journal for empowerment and recovery, 15 rules to deal with narcissistic people, how to stay sane and break the chain for those that you can't go no contact with, a Narcissist Handbook, the ultimate guide to understanding narcissistic and emotional abuse, and the novel Behind the Mask, The Rise of a Narcissist. If anyone is interested in any of those, they are all available on Amazon. Thank you very much for watching. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.